All right, so we're going to meet tonight and we're going to go over full-time frame continuity on Thinkorswim, but better yet, we are going to actually let Thinkorswim help us identify our setup, which, John has coined as his 2-2 rev to the upside for the week and also for the month. And you can see right here on my screen that we have the full time frame continuity frames here, or the time frames for the year, the quarter, the month, the week, and the day. And we are actually going to go over this script that I had posted into the Discord earlier today. And just join the Discord here, and you'll see this script right here. And these are the two that we're going to go over tonight: John's weekly trigger scan for the week and for the month. All right.
Nice.
So the very first thing that we're going to do, if you don't have this, of course, you're going to open up Thinkorswim and you're going to copy this URL. And once you get your Thinkorswim open, you're going to go to Setup and Application Settings. Oh, I'm sorry. Setup, Open Shared Item, and you're going to do a Control V here and paste that URL in. And once you do that, you will have a preview, and then it'll tell you what it's going to import it as. And this, in this case, is John's weekly trigger. Okay. And
Yep.
so, Ro, you said that you are in the process of trying to do that right now. How far have you gotten?
I'm with you.
Okay, so you've had the opportunity to import this already?
No, I am with you right now with the same step. I'm waiting on you to click import.
Okay, so if I click import here, basically it's going to bring up a window. And if I maximize this window right here, it's going to actually bring me to here. Okay, you can go ahead and close this window, and I'm going to show you why. So close this window, and if you go over here to your scan now, you're going to be able to click on this middle hamburger menu right here, and then go to load scan query. And you're going to find this underneath your personal. And in this case, we named this John 22 Rev, right? For the week?
For the week, one more down.
Something like that, right, Ro? You should see
Yeah,
that.
it was weekly triggers. I think
Weekly
the one that
triggers.
you loaded.
Yeah, this is the one I imported, weekly triggers, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so we click on weekly triggers, and there's a couple things to pay attention to here. First of all, this setup scan should say John weekly trigger. But more importantly, this scan in says Phil's basket. That's my personal basket. So basically, if I ran this script right now, or this scan, it would only scan in my basket, my personal basket. But let's just say you're like John and you want to run this against the NASDAQ 100. Watch what I do here. I'm going to click on scan in. I'm going to go to public, and then I'm going to go all the way down to NASDAQ 100 right here. Okay?
Mhm.
So once I get that to the NASDAQ 100, I now can click on scan, because these filters are already in place for the week. Notice how these say WK, WK, and WK for the week. So when we do a scan here, these are the search results that we get back when we run this script against the NASDAQ 100. Does that make sense? So if we want to, let's just verify this. We can go to Amazon, and let's type in Amazon. And you'll see right here for the week, if I maximize this, that we have the John setup right here. And that is the 2-2 green bar ready for a reversal. So basically, if this thing triggers right here, we can also set an alert to let us know when this candle right here goes above 178.90. That's what you want, right, John?
Right.
Okay,
That's your trigger.
that's your trigger. And before John would do this manually, right? You would go through every one of your stocks,
Every single 100. Yes.
every single 100, and that took what, maybe 30 minutes, hour?
No, 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 no. You just zip through them. You
You
just
just zip through them. And the reason he's saying that, guys, is because once you know what you're looking for, John doesn't even look at the stock. He just looks at the setup, right?
that's it. That's it. Correct.
See, people always ask me, how can you go through so many stocks? And it's because I just know what my setup is.
Right.
And once you know what your setup is, you just go next, 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 next. You hit the down arrow. Okay,
Right.
you get it.
Correct.
So
Yep.
so what we're doing here, we're just going to speed up that process even more by writing this script. Now, Zoe or Ro, did you have any problems bringing that in? Did we lose her?
I don't think so.
Not at all. I didn't have any problems with it.
No
No, she's
problems at
there.
all. Okay, so
That's fine.
what we did there is true then. This scan right here, we got all the stocks that are ready to go 2 rev, possibly up for next week. Now, the nice thing about this is that you can save this, however
Yeah.
you like.
Show them how to import that onto a list in your watch list.
Oh, in my watch list?
Well, no. Just show them how to import that onto a watch list.
Oh,
Not
okay. So once you've imported this and you've verified that it works, watch what you can do here. You don't have to keep it the same name. You can name this whatever you want by simply clicking on Save Scan Query. Now, the reason why you want to do the Save Scan Query is because watch this. We have all these watch lists here, and I'm just going to blow this away and just show you how to do this.
right. There we go.
Since we have this scan in place, we can click the plus sign here and create a new watch list. Okay, everyone's following me? And once we get this watch list, we can come up to the top here and we can go to the personal, and this scan is right there. John, weekly triggers. And when you click on this, watch what it does. Now this is going to be different because this is scanning against my basket. But if I wanted to change that and save it against the NASDAQ 100, those same stocks would come up right here. Okay? That's it. You just did all your homework in no time. And if I did this right here and flip this to my basket, this should match the same. And it does right there. See? So where you scan matters. Whether you want to do it in your own personal basket, or if you want to take the Dow Jones right here, or if you want to go to the Russell, wherever you want to go, just understand that whatever you save it as, it's going to scan against that particular item, whether it be your basket or the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. Okay? Ro, any problems doing that? No? I hope not.
Okay. Now, Phil, I want to ask you one more thing.
Sure.
Go to your scan.
Okay.
Go to the scan tab. Go over to where it says showing 8 of 8. The scan over there. On the bottom, yeah,
Yep.
8 of 8. Now that hamburger next to that, click on that.
Mm-hmm.
Explain how to save this watch list so you can, instead of copying these all down and then transferring them, you can save this watch list and put it over there
Sure.
on the left.
Sure. Great question. So after you do this scan, just keep in mind it's scanning at this moment in real time. And so as the market is going up and down, this list could change, right? Because you have stocks going up and down. But let's just say you wanted to focus on this list. You can come here to the hamburger menu and save as a watch list Whatever you'd like to name it. So let's just name this 9124. Okay, and hit save. So go back over to your watch list after you hit save here, and you can
Mhm.
go to your personal, and you can see now that we have this 9124, and right there is the same list. This list will not change now because you've saved it. But what's nice about that is you can compare the price action and look at the stock after the market closes. And I'm sure that's what you do, John, right?
It's exactly what I do.
Right.
But I do this now. I do this since this is a weekly list. I do this only on Fridays.
Okay.
So this list for me is Friday. It's Friday after the close. This is my list for Monday,
Gotcha.
and that's all I look at. I won't look at anything else. I'll just wait for these 6 or 8 to trigger, and that's it. If they don't trigger, okay, fine. But next Friday, I'll have a new list, and I'll set it up the same way you set it up here.
Yeah. So after the market closes, let's say, and let's say nothing triggers, I mean, you can blow away this list or you can go through individual names here and you can just delete them if you want. See that? So if you go through this and you find that certain ones are working or triggering and other ones aren't, and they let's say they go 222 continuation down, because that's a possibility too with the strat. Instead of going 222 rev up, we could go 222 down, or 2221 inside, or 2223. But let's just say for the sake of argument, let's go 222 down continuation, and you can just come in here and you can just blow it away because it no longer fits your criteria. Does that make sense?
Hmm?
It does. Phil, you mentioned alerts though.
Yes. So this is something that we've been working on too, where we can be alerted so that when this thing goes 222 up rev right here, the trigger on this for Amazon would be 178.90. We can
Mm-hmm.
actually create an alert so that when this thing hits 178.91, it's automatically going to notify you via email or text. And the way you do that, you got to make sure that you're in the setup here and go to your application settings and have your notification set up right here. And then your alerts is triggered or order fills. So you can see that I have, like, this one just sounds on trigger. But if I wanted to know when my orders fill, I could do the SMS or email here. And the same thing with alerts right here. All right.
Hmm.
So that's the first thing. You have to make sure that the notifications are enabled. Because if you don't have that set up, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get anything, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what's nice about this is that I got to remember how we did this here, John, but I know that we set up these alerts earlier today with a scan,
Huh?
and I just got to come over here to my scan and go to my personal, and you can see right here that, what did I name that earlier today? I think I named it the trigger week, didn't I?
It could be that, yeah.
I named it the trigger week, and I don't believe this one is in in the Discord yet. But it's very, very easy to import. It's the same way. But basically, when you look at this scan, do you see how this says close is greater than open right here?
Mm-hmm.
That is what's going to trigger us and send us an alert. Because if we hit scan right here, these are the names that I get against my basket. But watch what I do here. When I click on the hamburger menu and I click on alert when scan results change,
Mm-hmm.
I hit create, and now I get this alert set right here within Thinkorswim, so that now, whoops, anytime that this changes, or if one of these go 222 rev up, I'll get alerted.
Okay.
Pretty neat, huh? Let me go back to this one, John. Let me see if I actually have this in the weekly triggers. I do, John. Look, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's the same. So this is the same script. I did do it. I did update it. Just make sure that you come down here after you do your scan and click on the hamburger menu and then click on alert when scan results change. So you have
Mhm.
two options there within the hamburger menu: to create the watch list and then also to be alerted when that changes. Easy stuff.
Easy stuff.
Easy stuff. Now,
So, so can I add another thing to this?
absolutely.
Let's add another thing to this talk. So go to your chart with one of these stocks. I don't care which one you go to.
Okay.
Amazon. Go to Amazon again.
Okay. Here's
You got it.
Amazon.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. So what I'll do now on a Friday or over the weekend before Monday comes is the stocks that are in this setup, I will enter my trade. I will
Oh,
put in my trade
that's right.
so that I won't miss an alert, or because if I'm not here or if I can't be here and I'm out on the road or doing whatever I do, I'll get this trade, but it'll trigger without me. So I'll put in an order,
So you'll come in here, you'll right click, and then you'll do a buy,
right? Go to
yep,
buy,
and then you'll go to edit,
correct.
and you'll set the trigger at 178.91,
178.91, correct.
right? Because that's our trigger.
I'll
And
go
then,
to my I'll go to my quantity.
yep,
I'll put in one. You can put in one.
yeah, whatever you want. So one right
Then,
here.
then I go to order on the order side. I'll go to stop limit
Yep.
and I'll go to good to cancel.
Okay.
And then I'll hit confirm and send. It'll update it, show you what you got, and then boom.
And the reason why it's not showing is because I do not have show orders
Oh, okay.
enabled. But if I do that, you can see right there that order is ready to go. So
You're good to go.
if we
Yeah.
get a trigger, not only are you going to get alerted, but you're also going to get into the trade.
Yeah, you'll get filled.
Right. And the best part about this is not only do you not need to be there, but if we wanted to go a little bit deeper, and we won't do this tonight, we could also set this to enter and then set up our stop loss and our target with an
Correct.
OCO. So you don't even have to be here. And so for
Right.
all the emotional people out there, you literally can trade without watching this.
Exactly.
And the reason I bring that up is because I know for a fact there are a lot of emotional traders out there who tap out before the trade runs its course. You gotta let it play out. Make sense?
Right. And once this triggers at the end of the day, once the market closes, now you can go in, and if it triggers, you can put in your order. You can
Yep.
put in your stop and your target, and guess what? It's hands off again now.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
hands off again.
Yep. The best trade is the one you're not part of. Watching it, emotionally.
Hmm.
How many times have people entered a trade and their technical analysis is just dead on, but because they are over leveraged, or because they just they're nervous about it, they tap out, and that happens way too much. I work with a lot of people who do that, and I can relate. I used to be that guy, but you've got to overcome and let it play out. Now I'm going to go a little bit deeper here just because I can, and I hope I don't lose people, because I'm a big 2 by 10 crossover guy. And what I mean by that is that I like to know how many days a stock has been above the 10-day moving average, not only for the day, but also for the week. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to go into the same watch list that we created here, and I'm going to click on the gear cog and go to customize, and I'm going to remove the bid and the ask, and then I'm going to bring over my 2 by 10 study and then my 2 by 10 weekly study. Okay? Once those are there, you're going to click on OK. And now we know that like ASO has been 1 day up past the 10. That's 1 day since the last crossover on the day. And then, oh, hold on here. I got to link this too. That's another thing. Okay, do you see how this one doesn't have the 3 on here? We need to click on this link here and change that to 3. Now when I click on ASO, look at what it does. It brings up ASO for me. And now we can see it's 1 day since the crossover on the daily, and that it's been 2 weeks since the crossover on the week. And that's what A01 and A02 represent. Now, the reason why I am a big 2x10 crossover guy is because anything over 4 on the daily here, or 5, I will not chase. And that's just my way of doing things. It's not the way that everyone should adopt, it's just a way to do it. I don't know if anyone else does it, but that's how I do it. Do you do that at all, Ro or John?
No, I don't do it. No.
Okay, so John is just he's focused on the setup. That's it, and that's great.
Keep it simple. I just don't like to. Maybe I'll get into it, but not right now.
Yeah, keep it simple because this also can be too much data, right? Over analysis paralysis kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Versus, I've watched John do this. He'll throw out his weekly setups going in, and the thing will just run. And I think the one that comes to mind to me, John, is the Darden call that you made.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
this was a great setup where he actually called this out right here, right? And you actually hit both targets, didn't you? This one
Yep.
or 3
I hit
targets?
I hit 3 targets.
Yeah,
I hit 3 targets, and I got the runner in it. I'm still
still
I'm
in
still in
Darden.
my runner. Yeah.
Yep. So this was another good John trade that the group really benefited from, and this one was actually an inside setup trade.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Ro, anything to add? Any questions?
No, this is what I needed. I was going to ask John if he gets out at the strat exit, which is, when the next candle breaks the low. But I'm assuming he is. Are you, John? Just getting out whenever the um, the candle breaks the low of the previous candle at the
Well,
regular
to be
regular
totally
strat?
transparent with you, my targets are not based on the strat targets. In other words, each bar going up. I have my own formula for that. So I take my targets based on my formula. But
Okay.
you can, and what it is if I have a target, my stop will move up to break even on the first one. If I
Mhm.
hit my second target, my stop automatically moves up to the first target. So you see how I'm stepping it up as it goes. Um,
Yeah. So you're
in case of this one, Darden, if your first target was where, Phil?
so the first target would have been right there, right?
Right, and my stop would have been
Down
my first
right
down
there.
there.
Right.
Correct.
Your
Okay,
first
Uh-huh.
stop
so
would have been there.
if you put that stop in, put the target in. All right, and then put the line in where I got in at. What's the trigger? Where was the trigger?
Roughly like right there.
Right there. Okay.
Mhm.
The stock went up to 148.89. My stop will move up to 145 once I hit that
Okay.
first target. Then
Okay.
now the second target, Phil, is what?
Be the next candle.
Right, which
Well,
is
roughly right
right there.
there. Yeah.
Okay, right there. So now once the stock hits 150, 190, my stop from 145 now, break even, it will go up to 148.89. I step
Mhm.
it up every time I hit a target. My stop moves up behind it, and it follows it up. If it doesn't hit the target, it stays right there. And if it comes back down and gets me, that's okay. I
So
know I'm going to be in profit.
so is that
That makes
safe to
sense.
say, John, that right now, since you've hit these other targets here to the left, that now you're just protecting that runner right here at the bottom of this candle?
That's it. My
Yeah.
runner's at the bottom of that candle. Yes.
Okay. Because
Okay.
he's just walking it up, and this is an amazing trade. But this was one of the you did this also in Nvidia before it split. I remember this. He got in at like 3 or 400, and next thing he knew, it was at 800, $900 just by
Uh-huh.
Wow.
walking it up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And my runners just keep going. It goes as long as it goes. I just let it go. But I have my stop in, and I don't have to watch it. If it triggers and stops me out, okay, fine. I don't have to be by the computer. I'll come home at the end of the day. Market's closed. I'll look at my computer. I'll look to see what triggered, because on your list there, it'll show your fills, and it'll show what you bought. It'll show what you sold. I go over my list. I enter them because I put these all on a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think if you go back and look, and I started keeping track of this, I think, for a month or two. But if you look at the calls that I made with on Phil's Discord, um, I think a lot of them
Right
have
there,
hit.
right there.
It's over. It's over 90%. If you go back in time on this one and look at those calls, I'll bet you any money that every one of those hit first target, if not close to first target.
Yes, excellent
And
point.
some are still going.
So for
Yeah.
those of you who are new and you're struggling emotionally, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. And you just let it play out. I think that was one of the best things that I learned along the way, and that's something that I've always tried to, uh, you know, pass along. And I think that was one of the things we worked on a lot, John, when we first met, was just let it
Well,
play out.
you know what? I had to find my comfort zone. And
Mm-hmm.
by doing my job kept me out all day. I wasn't here for the open. I wasn't here for the close. I wanted to play. I wanted to play the market. I wanted to get in. That's how I did it. I found my comfort zone with the weeklies. Now, some people that may be too long. I don't know. You may want to play the dailies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
It's your call.
well, for those of you who want to go monthly, even we have the script out there for the monthly.
Well, that's even longer. Yeah, you want to go monthly, which I do monthlies, and that's another thing I added to my Discord, or my link on here, is every month I'll put on a couple of monthly trades.
Yeah. You know, and did you guys just see what I did there? I changed that from week to daily. You could also save this script to do it on the day, right?
Yep.
You could do it right
Yep.
there. So let's look at one of these right here. Let's just save this watch list to get into the habit of it. But let's just go 9/1/24 daily.
You got 27 of these. How come it's only showing 10? Is there? Do you have a?
Because right there, you got to make sure
Oh,
this is
okay. Okay, that's
there.
cool.
Is that better?
Oh no, I just didn't know, but now you pointed it out. There,
Okay.
I should have looked at
So let's
that.
go to personal here and let's go to the 9/1/24 daily. And you can see right here that, heck, let's just pick out Chipotle. This is one that we've been in quite a bit. But look at this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 2-2 rev setup. That's true, right?
No. Yep.
So
Uh,
how did you switch it to a day? I missed that one.
so you go back to the scan here, and you see
Uh-huh.
where this says D right there?
Ah, okay.
This is where you kind of change it to whatever you want. Maybe it's the day, the week, the month, whatever quarter, year. I don't know what kind of trader you are. But
Okay.
but just keep in mind, if you change this today and you save this and you say alert me when the scan results change, it's going to get noisy.
Okay.
Okay? So just keep that in mind.
On
Mm-hmm.
Mondays, it'll get noisy on Mondays.
It'll get noisy. It'll get noisy. That's
You
right.
know, I'm kind of curious, Phil, on that D. Go back up to that D. I want to see some. Can you customize that on the when you're changing the? No, you can't.
No, you actually can't scan. I'm a big 130-minute trader, and
Well,
I
that's what I was looking for.
and I
I
w-
was looking for that.
and I wish Thinkorswim would let us use the times that we customize, but you cannot do it.
Yeah.
It's canned.
Okay.
It's whatever they want right there. So this is why, scanning is so hard for some people because I'm a 130 guy. I love it, but now that I know how to do it on the day and the week and the month, it's just fine.
Yeah, okay. I just was curious if you could customize that, and you can, obviously. So
Yeah.
that's all right. That's cool.
Let's take a look at another one here. This is one that I've been watching quite a bit too, Disney. And I know a lot of people say Disney is absolute trash, but this is something that's getting down to these very key levels, isn't it?
Mm.
And so I'm a big believer in once it hits previous low and knocks it out, I'm looking for a reversal like this, right? 2-2 rev, and then you get into it, and then you put your stop right there once it knocks out previous low. Just how I do
Yep.
things.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, and had you done this, been triggered in right here for the 2-2, your stop goes there. Look at that. You're in this trade for how many is it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days. You're already in this trade, and it's setting up to go higher yet. So
Uh,
anyway, that's a different lesson for a different time, and I think that's pretty much it. Unless you guys have any other questions.
well, that's good.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining. I am going to go out and hit the lake, go kayaking with my wife. So I wish you guys a, you know, good night and enjoy your time off.
Have a good night. I'll see y'all later.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you both.
you're
Bye.
welcome. Talk to you
Good
guys
night.
later.
Bye. Bye.